Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'd like to talk to you of another underrated film. Well, the movie is currently playing in select cinemas currently at this time, and I had the liberty of watching it yesterday, and I think it was playing 75 millimeter, and that is The Brutalist, directed by Brady Corbet, starring Adrian Brody, Felicia Jones, and Guy Pearce, which the story centers around a fictionalized historical film of a architect played by Adrian Brody plays a guy named Lazlo. I'm just gonna go say Lazlo. I'm not gonna pronounce his last name. A very gifted architect who immigrates to the United States in 1947, and the film basically chronicles his life as he tries to uh, define what is the American dream, making it in America, and meeting this wealthy business client who may change his life forever for the better or for worse. And this is pretty much like an epic drama saga, and the movie's broken into 3 to 4 acts. Part one, all the way to part four, and then there's the epilogue where it chronicles him from 1947 to towards the end, I think the late 1950s. Then it leaps into the 1980. I think like barely around 1980 or 1983 to be exact. And this film is, we all know the rumors circulating around that the film is 3.5 hours long. Well, if you watch, off topic, if you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, that's 3.5 hours long. So, honestly, this was a walk in the park for me. I'm cool sitting in there for 3.5 hours. To be honest with you, I was really hooked into the story. I thought the film probably had the best hook to really kind of get you going, to really get you into the mood of what this film is really going about. Um, I love the opening sequence after like a little short moment of a small little concentration camp. You follow Lazlo in a boat, and the film is done in one take, where you're chronicling him and somebody else onto the journey, reaching up to the top of the boat. He's like at the bottom of the boat, or somewhere in the boat. They go all the way up to the top, and then you see the Statue of Liberty, and it's all done in one take. And the music build up to that moment of seeing this guy looking for another chance at life, and just see the excitement. That part was riveting, and it was powerful with the music was going on. The basic central core of this story is, man, okay, all right, let me, okay, the basic central core of this story, and it's kind of a deep dive of what immigrants immigrate to the United States, believing that American dream idea, and finding that idea, that philosophy, is bullshit. That's basically what it is. It deconstructs that idea that over time of USA propaganda, oh, the American dream, just it dismantles that heavily, where you see this guy struggling from point A to point all the way to the end of the film, of him trying to capture this American dream that in reality doesn't really exist, where he's given a chance by this wealthy businessman or philanthropist, whatever the good word is, played by Guy Pearce, who seems to be a very well mannered and likable character. But the more you kind of learn about him, the more you have thoughts about him. Because there's a certain moment into the film that it gets where I won't really go into it, but there's a certain moment in the film where, for me, from what I took from the film, is when these immigrations start happening, people with power give these people a chance, see their unique skills, uses them, and then toss them out. That's kind of what this movie is about. The soul of the USA dream and the, uh, I would say, scams of scamming people of their abilities to work for them and use them as their bidding and then get rid of them. That's kind of what this film really details, from what, at least from my understanding, which I'm seeing a good trend of that happening lately, of everybody pretty much hating the 9 to 5 job scenario. Adrian Brody was amazing in this. This dude on screen is mesmerizing. He's like well, I'm gonna say almost same frame, but he is just out there heading for a Best Actor award, and honestly, I would hope he would win. If not, at least get the nomination. Damn it! The filmmaker Brady Corbet, which I think this is the first film I've seen him as a director. The only other film I've seen him as an actor, because he acted before he leaped into direction, was the Funny Games remake, where he played the other serial killer on the opposite of Michael Pitt. And to see this film, and I admire the craft, the love of his filmmaking you feel into this movie, everything. And I'm thinking maybe it's just for inflation, because the amount of production that went into this film, and it's only around $10 million, is phenomenal. Like, I really want to really look into this film about the filmmaking techniques that they've done with this, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking movie, but I kind of wonder if they navigate around the story, around the budget. I'm still amazed at what they were able to pull off with this movie. But I think the biggest aspect about this film that I really love the most is the production value and the filmmaking that goes on behind this. Because this film is a really well done, crafted film. Uh, and I love it for that reason. Felicia Jones doesn't appear until like the second half of this movie, because there's an intermission for those who are going to go see this film in the 70 millimeter projection. And I don't know if that's going to apply for the same when it gets released. A wider release in January. So you do have to tune into the intermission, and she doesn't appear until the later half into this film. Now this movie will be a turnoff for a lot of people, because it is 3.5 hours long, and it does, in comparison, like The Godfather, does feel like the first half is pretty much like a preface of what the actual story is. Like, it feels so slow. So when it gets to the second half, that's when it kind of literally feels where the story really kind of gets in. But it builds up. It builds up to this character's uprise, and then it builds up to his downfall. And it is a tragic way. So I can imagine also this film might not be for everybody, because it is, in reality, it's a depressing film. I mean, it's a depressing film. You have this guy go through a lot of different things, and then the guy is also, I mean, and it makes it more relatable, makes it more human. But this guy is also, has a family. He causes infidelity sometimes, even though he's not near his wife. But he self harms himself. He goes through these challenges, and he gets frustrated. You see how human this character is, and you see just he makes mistakes. He's put in situations where now he has to figure out how to work it out in the moment, and you see him go through all these struggles. You see how brutal this guy's life is, and you see just how crazy his life is getting more chaotic. And then Guy Pearce's character, I hope he gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and I hope he wins as well because he was great in here. Like I'm like I haven't seen a lot of a lot of his work, but shoot, I have to say I think I like his performance in The Rover a little bit more than this, but this probably has to be the second best performance he's done. But he's freaking great in here, man. Like he's underrated. He's underrated as an actor, and I think there was an article that recently came out saying he's been dying to work with Christopher Nolan again, but studio some I guess they interfered with that collaboration, preventing it from happening. So because I guess, and this is off topic, I guess Nolan's been wanting to work with him again, but he just haven't had the chance, the opportunity to, while he's been staying at Warner Brothers because of, I guess there's some producers that don't like Guy Pearce's for whatever reason, but he's moved on to Universal, so hopefully maybe with him casting his new movie, hopefully that changes. Um, but wow, man, this movie was great. It was phenomenal, and I have to rethink my top 10 now. We'll see, because I think we'll see if I have time to watch the Nosferatu, even though I got doubts about it. But The Brutalist is a phenomenal drama. I wouldn't say there's any flaws, for the exception. Well, no, because I'm thinking about it. There is one thing where I guess as his character as an architect, I mean, you see it. I guess there could have been. I mean, maybe this is my opinion. Maybe there could have been more um, of him showing his skills as an architect a bit. That's just a small little nitpick. And the ending, I thought when they, a little of a spoiler, but I won't get into it. When they do the epilogue, because before that there was a moment where this chapter, I think it's like the final chapter before the epilogue. But when that ends, I feel like the way that ending built up to that moment probably should have ended the film right then and there. The epilogue just felt tacked on. Um, and it's only like 5 minutes, which is fine. But I thought the film could have ended literally right after. It would have felt a little bit more. It would have felt a little bit ambiguous, and I think it would have ended much more impactful if it did. But regardless of that nitpick, this film was great. I do say this film has the same inspirations of movie making like the early days of like the golf. The movie is filmed, I guess, in the original like um, Vista Vision, and I had the opportunity to actually seeing this in the one of Quentin Tarantino's theater at the Vesta Theater, and it's a beautiful looking theater. Beautiful, phenomenal theater. And when this film gets released, I do highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're looking for something that's completely different, because this film is different. It will challenge you. But for a film to do that, you also have to take in this film may or may not be for you. But again, this could bore some, this could entertain some. I was thrilled in it. I had a great time with this film, but I could see most people might tune out because of the length and because, well, it is a depressing film. I just started out there, all right? It is a sad movie. But I will say this though, the title credits of this movie is phenomenal, dude. Like the title sequence is something like completely like Gaspar Noah would do, or just it was just a little of a spoiler on that. Basically, the credits on the teaser trailer of the film. That's basically what the credits occur as, and the movie keeps going. But other than that, that's all I'm going to say about this film. The Brutalist. Check it out, your local theater near you, and let me know what is your favorite A24 film, and let me know what is your favorite film of 2024.